I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psychacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the subject of today's short talk is thoughts aren't private. It took me a long time to figure this out. When I was younger, I used to believe that my mind was something like a sealed-off laboratory, where I could think whatever I wanted in the privacy of my own consciousness without consequence. As long as I didn't speak or act on my thoughts, I believed my thinking to be hidden from the rest of the world. I no longer believe this to be true, and there are two main reasons why. The first is a corollary to my episode on feelings are impersonal. You are free to think whatever you want, but you are not free to feel however you want as a consequence of what you choose to think. So, for example, if you think a lot of self-loathing, self-deprecating thoughts, you're not really free to feel confident and self-assured. Or on the other hand, if you think a lot on the oppressive injustice of the world, you're not really free to feel peaceful and content. How you think, in large part, dictates how you feel, and those feelings are generally observable. So our thoughts are disclosed through our emotions. Make sense? Now, there's a second reason why I believe that thoughts aren't private, and that has to do with the fact that I'm just not a good enough actor. If I harbor negative judgments about other people, it's really only a matter of time before my unconscious communication betrays the presence of those judgments. The betrayal could be in a glance. It could be in a word choice. It could be in a gesture. It could be in a tone of voice. But over a long enough timeline, we can expect that it will be something. Personally, I'm just not a good enough actor to control all aspects of my behavior all of the time in order to prevent the disclosure of that attitude to someone who is even remotely sensitive to nonverbal communication. This is really, really important, especially with respect to people who you have to interact with on a regular basis. If you start to think, this guy's a clown, or I gotta talk with this joker, then the more likely it will be that those attitudes will subsequently be betrayed by your unconscious nonverbal communication. Better to challenge them in situ using the block and replace technique. Something to keep in mind. What do you think? Drop a comment below. And if you'd like to schedule a consultation, you can reach me at psychackspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.